my voice is going to be quiet and quite low. Yikes, I guess this could be up higher. Okay, so today is going to be pretty different than normal. I'm going to have to be quiet. My voice is quite deep because it is before the dawn. So, as many of you probably know, we're in a national emergency. Unlike some states, Massachusetts was in a state of emergency since Tuesday, and I still have to go to work. Today is Saturday, and I still have to go to work today and tomorrow. So I'm recording this, so hopefully we can get it out. I have my coffee. We're going to do my makeup for the morning and just chat a little bit about things that are going on. Gonna be doing kind of abbreviated. Wow, I didn't bring any mirror over here, and my setup is so janky today. All right, we'll figure it out. 1 second. Okay. It's incredibly early. I got everything else. Maybe we're going pretty late because I gotta go to work, and we've been in a state of emergency here in Massachusetts because of that Biogen meeting that happened that brought all the sick people to us. And so there's a lot of cases of supposed coronavirus. Actually, one of my coworkers, she was tested just a hair too late, so the virus wasn't detectable in her system anymore by the time she was tested. But the doctor's like, I'm not gonna say it wasn't. I pray to God that I'm even, whatever. I'm gonna be drinking coffee throughout this because I need to. And, this week has been a year. I was rewatching my latest video because I honestly forgot that I made it. The 1940s one, I completely forgot that I made it because I made it and edited it, and I was pretty much done by Monday or something, and then I set it to schedule for Friday. I don't know when I should be posting things. Regardless, just so much has happened in the past week in regards to like everything. So I got a haircut. The only reason I was able to get in to get a haircut is because of the coronavirus. My barber, she is so popular. Her haircuts are the bomb. I have hair that is surprisingly difficult to work with because it's very fine, but there's a lot of it. A lot of times it won't get thinned out properly. So usually there's a line of 3 people ahead of me and 3 people behind me, and I go like in the middle of the day. It's not like I'm trying to go like weekend or something like that. It's actually a barber shop, and I don't know, maybe dudes have more time during the week or something. I am not even going to try to pluck my eyebrows because I don't know. So we're doing this one. Play along at home. Too Faced, the Naked palette again. And we're doing this one. Middle row. I'm actually finding out that I don't like Too Faced as much as I thought I did because the pigments actually are kind of whack. They don't work so well. So one of my coworkers actually had the coronavirus and everyone's freaking out because I work at an animal hospital. So we have people coming in and out all day, and there's been the question of, can dogs get it? Can dogs carry it? And so everyone's freaking out about that. But at the same time, all the clients are freaking out. Like all the owners are freaking out about that. But like everyone who I work with, most everyone who I work with is sort of like, wash your hands, clean up after yourself. Don't lick people's faces. I mean, if you know someone and they want you to lick their face, whatever. We're getting off topic. I was rewatching the video that I made, and like I was talking about going to the butcher, and part of me was like, whoa, I went to the butcher? Look at all this madness going on. Like I went outside and like I went to a farmer's market. But this was like, I went to a farmer's market on Saturday or Sunday, and the thought of going to a farmer's market Saturday or Sunday is very idea than going to a farmer's market today. Which is why I'm saying this week has been a year. Because nothing I did 7 days ago is thinking to be the same as if I were to do it today. I'm not ready to like hop out to the farmer's market right now, like because it's different right now. It's like I'm watching the video and I'm talking about it and I'm like, oh, like what would someone think like watching that today with everything else going on? And it's like, wow, you touched other humans? Don't touch other humans. And like, because that's all we're doing at work is we're like sanitizing and being like, wash your hands, don't do handshakes, don't do this, don't do that, don't touch people, people are bad, people are off limits. And my part-time job, I have a part-time job downtown that I work at a show, and that industry is really, really being affected as well. And you may wonder why I'm talking about this at all. I mean, it's very topical, and I have a hard time not talking about certain things because I was a political science major, and so that my brain sort of, I don't follow politics as much now as I used to because it's a lot to follow because you can't just read one article. on a topic. You have to read a lot of articles on one topic to be able to understand the truth, because everyone is going to write with a bias. You're listening to me talk right now, and it's still, I mean, I'm still got my bias in what I'm saying, you know, and you don't know exactly where that's coming from. If you were to only read one article and read an article where I wrote it, then you would only know my bias, and everyone's got a different bias. And it's not always intentional, but it is always there. So keeping up with politics is hard. Keeping up with the freaking coronavirus is hard too, because it's like wildfire, the gossip about it. It's just like, oh, I heard this, oh, I heard that, oh, I heard this. It's like, where, when, who, how? And so I've just been mostly going to the World Health Organization, CDC, more so the WHO, to figure out the truth and precautions and all this stuff. And it doesn't help that everyone is like giving you information from all these like good sources. Like, bless my roommates, but one of them, who is a champ, he's a mental health warrior, he was telling me that his bosses are like privy to more information than like the normal layman. And I'm like, sort of like, oh, so what, am I just supposed to take your word for it? Am I supposed to take their word for it? Like what, where is this information coming from? Like, I'm not just gonna accept what you're telling me. Like, I want to be able to do my own research. That's what I'm saying. Like, same thing with like your emotions. Don't react, act. Like, you really have to do your own research. And that's why it's so hard to keep up with all this stuff, because it's so hard to do your research when you still have your life to do. And reading articles takes time, and it's a bummer a lot of the time to read these articles. You don't want to be reading about how many people died when you also need to make dinner. So we're going to be doing like this stuff, but to a much less degree. Primer. New primer. Hey, we're still doing a show. So this primer I actually did use because I sort of just wanted to try it, and this is one of the NYX ones that I got, and it's called Can't Stop, Won't Stop. We're doing the matte today because I don't want to go into work all shiny because I have an 8-hour day. As I was saying, 2 of my roommates are working from home because, as I said, I don't like this stuff. So this one, it works pretty well, Can't Stop, Won't Stop, but it comes out even weirder than the last one. It's right there, and it like, it's very hard to get out of the tube. Like, you really gotta like, it's like indented, you can see, because you really gotta like squeeze it out. And this one says to like pat it, like smear it on, then pat it on to set it. I don't know how much you're supposed to use of any of this stuff. It feels weirder than the other ones, if you can believe it. Oh, it's like sticky. Oh, it feels like I'm rubbing glue on my face. And that is the exact opposite feeling of anything I want to feel in my face. None of this is good. It's really hard to get out. It's like you're trying to get dried glue out of a thing. And I think it dries. I mean, I don't remember it being tacky all day. I think it reaches a point where it like decides to cooperate. I have no idea how much I've put on, because it's clear. I'm sure we're looking haggard this morning because it's early. There's so many times. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning. Oh, there we go. See? It like literally just like hits this point where it like dries and it like becomes like powdery smooth. Like, I don't know. It's kind of magic. But it sucks to put on for the first like 30 seconds. There we go. Then we pat. I have these blue nails on because I was going to do a completely different video, but I wanted to get this recorded. We're doing it. Okay. That was a lot to put on my hand. Well, this is what we're doing now, I guess. So, coronavirus, right? It's all that people are talking, the memes. Like, so going to the farmer's market last weekend as opposed to this weekend, there's a much different stigma around it, especially in my area, because we have already been in a state of emergency for a few days. Like, I went to the grocery store actually the day that the state of emergency was announced in Massachusetts, just because it coincided with the day that I decided to actually take care of myself and feed myself properly, which is unusual. I'm sorry, I've been all over the place. And I don't have my glasses on. It's very early. I can't see for beans. Okay, it's a good thing we're going light. I went to the grocery store on Tuesday. It was like fine. Like, surprisingly, and of all places, Market Basket. Market Basket is not a place you go to when you want to get in and out. Market Basket is like, you're going on an adventure, calm your breathing, meditate beforehand. You'll come out with a lot of food and it'll be nice and cheap, but you may be there a while. But I'm in line there and I'm talking with this guy. He is the sweetest man. So I didn't want to touch anything. I like had my reusable bags on either side, and I was holding, I forgot my coffee. And of course, it was the end of the world. I'm gonna need to be caffeinated. So I forgot to get coffee, and I was like, yo, I'm almost out of coffee, let's get some coffee. So I have my reusable bags like full of stuff on either side, like perishables and non-perishables, like dinner for tonight, and then like rice and whatever, and grabbed the coffee and I was holding it in front of me, so it kind of looked like all I had was this huge thing of coffee. And he was about to let me go in front of him in line because he had a whole basket. He like looked at me. Well, he like looked at the coffee and then he sort of like looked on either side and he saw that I was like, being a pack mule, and he started laughing. And I'm like, don't worry, like, yeah. And he's like, do you want? I'll give you my cart afterwards. I'm like, it's my own peculiarity. And he's like, I got that. And I'm like, okay. But then we continued talking because, as I said, I always talk to people. And we were talking about the coronavirus. Okay, I've been like slapping this on. I think we're done. We were talking about the coronavirus. He was like, yeah, my daughter's school is like canceled and like, so they're gonna hang out tomorrow. And I'm like, but that's kind of the opposite of what, like, I know we shouldn't be, oh yikes, that's gonna be a lot for today. It's like, I know we shouldn't stop ourselves from living our life, but children are the one who are kind of spreading it because they don't know if they have it. And I mean, you don't know. If you got a bougie kid who maybe was in France last week, like, I don't know, like, it's just something to think about. It's like, we don't want to induce more mass hysteria because mass hysteria and misinformation has sort of been the bane of this whole thing. We're going to try just a tiniest bit because I do have to go to work and I don't want to look incredibly insane. On Saturdays, less people work just because, I mean, no, we're open less hours and whatever, and, you know, all that jazz. Sure, whatever. We're going hard. This is our war paint today. The world is ending, and, so who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Whatever. This is what we're doing today. I'm awake. We're here. It's warm under my eye again. I think maybe I should stop using this product. So we're talking about it, and like that's just the conversation with everyone. It's like you're always talking about it. You're always finding news. I tried to text my friend Alex to see if he just wanted to hang out, and he was like, this was on Tuesday, and he was like, Sarah, we're in a state of emergency, and I'm like, oh yeah. Hello, my name is Sarah. It's very early in the morning. And we're doing our makeup. So he's like, we're in a state of emergency. And I'm like, oh, what? Like, what? Like, I just didn't know. And so because I was at work, because I was still working, a lot of people are already working from home. 2 of my roommates are working from home. And, like, it's very interesting that's sort of what's going on right now. And my other job, I have a part-time job in downtown, as I said, and I work at a theater. And that business is being really hit hard right now because when you go to a theater, it's a congregation of a lot of people, and that's exactly what they're telling you not to do. It's really sad because it doesn't matter if you've been around for a long time or what. It's small businesses, small companies, like one of the ones that I work closely with. I don't work at it, but like I work closely with them. They're the ones that are being really negatively affected because, you know, like anytime there's like the big take a while to fall. And I mean, they're the ones who are, ooh, yikes, that's too dark. They're the ones who are the most protected in this time because they have more money and more backing to fall on. I'm just going to use more brushes because it's just whatever. So the big companies are not like as affected, and the small companies are really, really hurting. Independent contractors too, and I know a lot of independent contractors because of working in theater. A lot of these people, a lot of my friends are like independent contractors, and they rely on these events. Like they work doing sound engineering for events, or just work like stage managing shows in the area, wardrobe, stuff like that. And if we're telling people to not go out in droves, and your industry is entertainment, where you're trying to entertain the masses, if people are telling not to group en masse, then no one's gonna come. People are getting refunded. People are canceling shows. That's what happened at like, and I'm not one of those ones who's being all fear mongering. I'm one of the ones who's trying to be like, take your breath, read the facts, get the facts, but the facts keep getting worse. Oh, yeah. Maybe we can do a little bit more contouring. Like, I don't want to go out of control. I know my nose is still doing a little thing. Yeah. I don't know how many cups of coffee I'm going to have before work. It's going to be a lot. Maybe that was too much to do. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay. Maybe that was a lot to do. Oh. No. We tried. We tried to make it look pretty or whatever. But we're just going to struggle bus along. Everybody on the struggle bus. I was supposed to work the show this weekend. They ended up being canceled anyway. I work backstage, but it's still like they tell you not to be like close to people who are infected and going out for bows. Just even thinking about that, of thinking how close I'm going to be to people when I'm on stage. Like, because most of the time I'm not really in contact with the masses. But usually I take the T to work. Definitely wouldn't have done that. I would have driven in. But I hate driving in. I like taking the bike in because I can park in an alley. But when I drive in, I mean, it's parking in the city. Like, who wants to park in the city? And parking in the city, like, for a specific time, it's like, it's not leisurely. Like, I gotta get in there. I got a show to do. I gotta get the laundry started. I gotta go. It's just like all things like that, where it's like, you're trying to take precautions, but in a way, taking these precautions, it's just making life so hard. Because, like, a lot of people aren't even following the precautions. And I mean, that's the reason why we're in such a state right now, is because people are going to parties when they know, like, it's like, if you're sick, stay home. And like, that's the thing that's also a problem. The American way, the American worker way, like the everyday working person, is kind of like, we've been told that the more we work, the more we produce, the more we're contributing to society is our worth, as opposed to what we perceive of ourselves. And so we've been in a way sort of brainwashed and like raised to think that working is the most important thing in our life. Gotta make that money. And just so you know, people who are the most focused on money are people that you can trust the least, because money will always fluctuate, and so their attention and their amount of care to you is always going to fluctuate. That's a little hot tip for the day. You have to break yourself of that mold, because that, and also the intense stupidity of these people going to parties when they're sick. But the fact that like we're sort of taught to like push ourselves to the limit for our job and for the money, because like I don't push myself. No, well, that's not true. I have a bit of both of the sides of it, where I push myself because I want to do a good job. Like I really am proud of the attention and like the care that I give in jobs, showing that like I care. Like, I'm hired, and I'm not just, you know, if it's a job that you like and people that you like, you want to do more for them. And if it's people you don't like, I have coffee all around this room, and so I'm at standby. Okay. So I didn't want to, you know, have too black of coffee, because I like my coffee with cream and sugar, so I brought up a little. It's my cream and sugar, and we gotta put a little bit of that in there. I do like black coffee. I like all kinds of coffee, but the most comforting coffee to me is just you do coffee, a little bit of cinnamon when you're brewing it, so it's not like actually floating around in there, and then some cream and sugar. Right now I'm working on some weird sugar things, because as I said, I'm out of white sugar. I still have not bought white sugar. I should have bought that at Market Basket. My brain was on other things. Back to the coronavirus. So you got all this misinformation of people spewing at you. You don't know who to trust, where to go, what's happening. Do we finish our eyes first and then powder, and then let's, I guess, finish the face with the powder. We're gonna do primed and poreless again, but not to the extreme extent we did last time. Should we do blush? I didn't bring blush over here. We're not doing blush. I have severe stomach problems due to malnutrition as a child. So the world is kind of in a weird spot right now, because the word pandemic is not as scary as people think. But as I said, misinformation, people not doing their research, pandemic just means that it's everywhere and you gotta be careful. But at the same time, it's everywhere and you gotta be careful. People are sort of either going to, or like going to the extremes. Now I work in a way in healthcare. It's animal healthcare, which is different in a lot of ways, but it's also similar in a lot of ways. Like we get a lot of people calling who are like, hey, can you see my pet now? And it's like, if you need your pet to be seen now, you should go to an emergency hospital where your primary care. And people are like, well, you're my vet, why can't I see you now? And it's like, well, because we're your primary care. If you were like if you were having like difficulty walking, like would you call your primary care at 5 p.m. and try to get in? Like, no, no, you wouldn't. But we get a lot of calls like that, and people sort of misunderstanding what we're trying to tell them, because we're referring them out. And they're like, yeah, but you're my primary care, take care of me. And it's like, yeah, but we can't take care of you. It's like, we can do a lot of preventative, and we can do surgeries, and we can do stuff like that. But we don't have the amount of staff, the amount of skill. We don't have this, we don't have what you need. So please seek help elsewhere. And people get, they don't like that answer a lot. And I can understand that, but there's only so much I can explain. So we're disinfecting things all the time. And that's not to say we weren't disinfecting things before, but we are on a shortage of masks, a shortage of disinfectants, shortage of gloves, because everyone who doesn't need to be buying this stuff is buying this stuff. Because people should be doing the normal things they should be doing, like washing their hands and not coughing on people's faces. And I razz people all the time when, especially guys, because my part-time job is heavily male, and then my full-time job is all chicks. There's only one man, and his name is Guy. Dead serious. So I work with a lot of dudes at my part-time job, and I razz them all the time because they use the restroom, and it's something in Massachusetts. Massachusetts is weird. New England is weird. Something in Massachusetts is a lot of times bathrooms have the light switch on the outside. Which, okay. But then also, they'll have the light switch on the outside, and then it's just a toilet in a room, and then you have to go outside and wash your hands. And so in the dressing room, I can see when guys, like, you can see when they don't wash their hands because they leave the toilet room and don't then go to the sink. And so I'm like, hey, ain't you gonna clean up? And they're like, oh, well, like, what are you saying, that I'm dirty? And I'm like, well, I'm just saying I don't want to touch that. Like, am I, like, wouldn't you think it's gross if I did that? Like you go to the bathroom, just wash your hands, bro. Like, you should be washing your hands on the reg anyway, so, I mean, I'm not your mom. My babies are plants. And I'm sorry, babies. I need to water them. No, I don't need to water them. Sunny is doing so well. He's the one that I repotted. Like, I didn't repot him, I just added more dirt. And he has, like, this 11-year-old man is like a spring chicken. He's a little mannequin. He's just running around, having fun, being a good boy. He's out of his angsty teenager phase. He had an angsty teenager phase. Serious, like, my plant. Back to the makeup, back to the coronavirus topic at hand. I'm over here watching my video and just stunned by the fact that, like, I had a different video planned for today, and I felt that this was better to make because it made more sense. Because if I were to make the video that I was planning to make today, I put on my nails last night. I was going to do big and blue because we still kind of really have yet to get into that whole nonsense of, like, big, because I fail at that because I keep doing conservative makeup. Because Too Faced, I love you. Your pigmentation ain't great. So it's really great for, like, needing to go to work on days like these. But then it's kind of less great for the more dramatic looks. I've been informed to check out Jeffree Star stuff. Honestly, I am, so I'm, I guess, a beauty YouTuber? Beauty commentary YouTuber? I don't know. I'm on YouTube here doing makeup, and I've never watched a Jeffree Star video. Honestly, I know a lot of people really dig his look. The man kind of looks scary to me. Is he going for the David Bowie thing? I can only imagine. He looks like David Bowie to me. Like Labyrinth, David Bowie. That movie scares me. A lot of things freak me out. So, I have never been one for Jeffree Star, but apparently his makeup is amazing. My barber was telling me his makeup is amazing. This is still a very new haircut. I got it, like, on Thursday, and it's now Saturday, so I haven't had a lot of time to work with it. And also, since we're growing out my hair, it's a different shape than it normally is. Oh, what have I been doing? My mascara is going to be this waterproof one that's a NYX brand that I got a while ago. Can you see? Hello? NYX Chick Flick. Yeah. It's waterproof, and the other one is just a bit much for what we're going for today. A bit much. So, all of my jobs are affected. Oh yeah, we're not doing liner. We're doing the powder liner. I like the powder liner. Even with the weepy eyes, hopefully the primer and the finishing spray, hopefully all of that will keep my weepy eyes more in check, because it has been. There are still obviously breaks in our defenses, but what can we do? So both of my jobs are affected, and it's all anyone will talk about. In a way, it's bringing the community together, which is interesting because it's a talking point for everyone. So Massachusetts is fairly liberal, as I'm sure a lot of you know, but there's actually a lot of Republicans who have very strong opinions, Democrats who have very strong opinions. I hate the two-party system. I think it's the worst. We're never going to move forward in a two-party system because in my time as a political science major, I actually went to the Hill a lot, watched Congress members in their hearings firsthand, and it's like being in a room full of children. And it's disgusting and gross. Lots of talking, lots of yelling, but nothing got done. No one yielded. No one was willing to bend. And that was very sad. And that's why I work at an animal hospital, because I didn't want to be a part of that. So we're going on half an hour here, which is actually pretty good. Because I'm kind of going quickly. So who knows, maybe I'm not even going to have to edit this that much. Editing is fun. I think my videos are hilarious, which is why I was watching the other one, because I forgot I uploaded it. So I forgot what it was even about, because this week has been a year. What was normal last Saturday is just incomprehensible today. I don't know. So much has happened to me this week in so many parts of my life, and it's partly because everything has happened to everyone this week in so many parts of their lives. Because as I said, it's sort of bringing the community together. You're reaching out to people, sometimes like to see if they're okay. So as I was saying, the two-party system, the Liberal versus Democrat thing. So you would think that, like, that's a talking point. Maybe everyone can be like, oh, you know, like, let's talk about politics. I'm not going to say the name of the person that is the talking point of the past several years with, you know, elections and whatever coming up. You would think maybe there's a talking point there. Everyone has a talking point there. But no, there's a lot of people with, even though we're in an extremely liberal area, you're not always going to have everyone on the same page about that. But everyone has something to say about the coronavirus. Everyone has something to say about the coronavirus. Let me put this back. There we go. Full picture. Revlon, Hydromat, something. What is it? Ultra HD matte lip mousse. I'd say mousse is a good description for it. It's this kind of, it's got one of those, I wouldn't call it beveled. I'm not sure what the word beveled means. But it's kind of got this hook thing. I don't know if you can even see it. Hello? 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 Hi? There. I don't know. Can you see it? It's there. So it's got this kind of hook thing. It's weird. Super hydrating. Not too intrusive of a color. So I can like put it on, slap it on, and sort of keep it around all day. And when it starts to wear off, it's not super noticeable. So if you forget to reapply, or you eat something or drink something and forget, you can just put on chapstick. No one's gonna care. No one cares. So everyone's talking about the coronavirus. It's something you can connect to so many more people because of this. It's weird. Everyone has something to say about it. Everyone has some news to say about it. So like you're always talking about this really depressing thing, but in like a sort of rewarding way. I'm grabbing, okay, we're gonna get it from the other angle. But maybe someday I'll disclose how awful my mirror situation is. Today won't be that day. We gotta go. I have an 8-hour day today because some of us are still working. We're all coming together. I did a poor job up here. Oh, today's one of those days. It's always one of those days. Here we are. We're just gonna, good thing we already put on our finishing spray. I don't know what that means. Blending or something. We're just being hasty is what we're doing. Whatever. It's not a big deal. If I look ridiculous for one day of my life, I've looked ridiculous for other days of my life, and we will once again come out on top. So I'm definitely going to have to look at this later when the sun has risen. I don't even see the pre-dawn yet. I don't even see, there's nothing. It's dark. So everyone's actually able to come together in this weird way because of the coronavirus and how it's affecting everyone. It's something that everyone is being affected by. Everyone has something to say on. Everyone's looking up. And everyone's sort of got a different take on it of like, not the importance, but like the measures to be taken. Because you've got, every demographic is affected by it, but every demographic is kind of affected differently. But it's not that demographic's fault. People who have asthma or the elderly, anyone who already has a compromised immune system or compromised respiratory system especially, is more affected by it. So that's the sort of the thing that people aren't quite understanding, and you have to do a double take to make people calm and be like, hey, if you're young and healthy, like you're probably going to be fine, but like what you should be worried about is the older people in your life. I actually don't have a lot of older people in my life that I care about. The oldest person in my life that I really care about would be my sister, and she's not old. She's older than me, but she's not old. So like, but she does have asthma. Oh shoot. She lives in a different time zone. I'll text her later. So it's like everyone's together on this, and we all are kind of in it together and sharing information to help each other. It's a situation where we're all trying to help each other. It's very interesting. The only time you'll come across any controversy talking about like being infected and working while you're infected. Everyone is on this together, and everyone's trying to make so no one gets sick. And that's why we're spreading information on it. But the information that's being spread is so here and there and up in the air, and like you really need to do your research on it. And it's hard because everyone is so busy and trying to take care of everything, and you don't got time. And like me, I'm still working, and I'm still having to go out there and interact with all these people. And I was supposed to work this show this weekend, and it actually was canceled, which is a huge bummer for the company and all these small companies that are going through this. But it makes sense. Like I didn't want to go in and work anyway. Then it would compromise me, it would compromise everyone else that I'm still being forced to work with. That's what happened with that one girl at work. Thankfully, it's been like the grace period of the days of where you would show symptoms. We should be fine. But I do have 2 older coworkers, or at least one older coworker who has like a granddaughter that she interacts with a lot, and then one older coworker who lives with her older father, and so she interacts with him. So it's like everyone's concerned about getting it, but everyone's trying to stop everyone else from getting it, which is great, and it's sort of bringing us together in a weird way. And everyone's on the same side, which is different than politics. But at the same time, I still have to go to work, and like that makes sense that I still have to go to work, but the stigma now of being around people is so intense that like there's some people who are just coming in and they're like, yeah, my dog needs its shots, whatever, like come on, like give me an appointment. And then there's some people who are calling and canceling because they can't come in anymore because schools are closed and they have got to take care of their kids. Or like I had one guy call and he was like, hey, so you've probably been getting this call a lot about the coronavirus, can dogs get it? And I was like, oh man, I just realized my light's been crooked this whole time. Bonkers. It's like, well, actually, this is the first phone call that I got about it, but like I had done the research on it, so I was able to answer him. The World Health Organization actually said that like there was that one confirmed case, but it was like almost like with YouTube drama, it was like allegedly confirmed. And excuse me, I am such a burpy person. They're usually pretty quiet, but they still happen. There was kind of one dog case, but like kind of, and I was like, but like anything, if there's like, you know, infected water droplets on it or whatever, like use caution. But at the same time, like dogs are still getting sick with other things, so they're coming in and we're taking care of them, and we have their owners, so you got to worry about the dogs infecting each other. There's a lot of that where like we have a lot of the same treatment rooms, and if a dog was in a treatment room and it was sick with kennel cough specifically, we can't use that room for the rest of the day almost. We have to like clean it regularly, like hour on hour on hour, we're cleaning it so that by the next time we have a patient in there, they won't be infected. But we're doing that now to everything. All of the surgeons' hands are like, all the techs that work with surgery and pretty much all of the tech, just their hands are raw, and they're like putting like cold water bottles on their hands to try to fix them, because on top of the amount that they already wash their hands, now they're using so much hand sanitizer and they're washing their hands even more. And it's like the struggle that is real. And I'm on a much less extent because I'm just starting to train into that world. I'm mostly like on the front lines dealing with clients, and there's some very nice ones. And so I just trying to like keep everyone positive and informed positively, like try to negate the paranoia and the panic, but like still you got to be in the know, so you still have to talk about it and deal with it. And there's just a lot. So basically in this past week, it's gone from, oh, Washington State is affected, to hide your kids, hide your wives, because it's infecting everybody. We had the Biogen meeting here in Boston, and that is what kind of put us on the front lines when we were on the back burner. It's been a lot this week, because life still goes on. You're dealing with all this stuff, and it's just incredible. So I figured that was some food for thought. Do your research. What we should take out of this is that people should be more clean in the first place. Don't go to the bathroom and not wash your hands. I don't know why you boys think that it's fine. Like, I don't know why you guys think that it's fine to use the restroom and not wash your hands. I don't know. I don't know when that was instilled in you, but you should wash your hands. If you're leaving a restroom, wash your hands. And it's not necessarily what you did in the restroom, it's what other people have done in the restroom, okay? They had to open that doorknob. Like, I'm razzing you about it because it makes sense. And I was just doing it before it was cool. The coronavirus made basic hygiene cool. So in a weird way, there's that. I'm not trying to downplay the amount of people who have been affected and are affected still currently and will get affected in the future. Infected, affected. However, I know that it is a serious problem that a lot of people have died, and it will be an issue for a while because of the rapidity of the spread, hence being deemed a pandemic, because we're just not doing enough preventative measures, regular measures of washing your hands and disinfecting stuff. Whereas like I'm already in a field where we do disinfect stuff morning, night, and noontime basically, and now we're doing it pretty much every half hour, and I'm not even joking. We're excited when the disinfecting wipes come via UPS. Like, and UPS still has to work, and like I have medications for myself that I have to go and pick up at the human pharmacy today. There's things that you gotta take care of. Like, I'm still going out to my doctor's appointments. I don't know. So it's a lot. There's a lot going on. Take care of yourself. Keep yourself informed. And that's just something to take into everything of your day and everything of your life. Of just put a pause on the knee-jerk reaction. Put a pause on that. Continue life, because life has to go on. If you have to self-quarantine for reasons, obviously. But try to keep yourself... Don't go insane. Don't get stir crazy. Spring is coming. Hopefully you can open the window maybe. So take care of yourself. Check up on others. The people that you care about in your life. I have to go to work. I have to clean this all up. I have to get this footage from my phone onto the computer and then also have it render so that the audio is synced. So I can come home later tonight and hopefully edit it. And then tomorrow, in between work, I'll also edit it because I gotta work tomorrow too. I do have Monday off. I gave up my one free day this week to work at another location. And it actually was really good. It was good. So I gotta go to work. Take care of yourself. And I'll see you later. I hope I didn't wake my roommates up.